Hi guys, Jenny from Geek Queen. Alright, so this video I'm actually going to give you a brief overview of how to edit your Canva templates in case you've never used Canva before. So you just have to sign up for an account, which you should have done before you purchased. If you haven't, obviously you need to do that now because your links won't work unless you have an account. So I'm doing this all under a free account because I want you to see what capabilities the free accounts have. You can upgrade to Canva Pro. I'm not a Canva user. I'm Photoshop. I'm Adobe all the way. But this is just really, it's free and it's easy for people to use. So this is why I've enabled this option also for you for your social media templates. Let's just go. Let's just start at home. That's probably the easiest way to start, isn't it? Okay, so on the left here you have the all your folders and things. All your designs, templates, photos, all that kind of stuff, that's just kind of there. I'm not going to touch on that for now. So what I've done is if you've watched the video on how to save the file, you probably should watch that first because you need to copy the file and save it. So in doing that, I'll show you how to actually put it in a folder. So this is the folder that I'm using. So this is my templates. And then I'm just going to take this one. Yeah, let's do that one. And I'm going to edit it. Okay, so when you come into the edit, it will actually open up a different screen, so a different tab, sorry. So it's just a new tab. These are all the kind of the templates that Canva provides to you, so you can kind of use any of those. Some of them will be under the Pro account, but it will prompt you. I tend to kind of hide that just so I get a better working screen. Okay, so you can see if you scroll down, you've got all your different pages here, your different examples, sorry. Okay, so I'm assuming that I've already made this. Actually, no, let's do that. Let's do that. Sorry, I'm going to go home again because I just realized I don't really want to edit the templates. I'm going to make a copy and let's call this training. Okay, all right. Okay, the reason I did that is I don't want to edit my template and have to go back and undo it all and reset it. So that was a bit daft. Okay, so I'm just going to, again, hide this screen, and this is what we begin with. Okay, so some of these items on here are actually images that I've bought in, so they won't be editable. They'll be scalable, but they won't be editable. But a lot of it is shapes and text and images and that I've actually, imported and is editable in Canva. So let's just start with this one. So this is our kind of background. So you can see anything that you click kind of highlights in blue. That's the image. And this one is a good example. You can see that you can see how that goes off the page. So that's an image that I created that I imported. There's particular images that are PNG images, which stands for Portable Network Graphics, and they can be created with transparent backgrounds. So if you're ever looking for images to use, that's this kind of thing, that's like an overlay, and you're on one of the stock photo sites, just make sure that the image that you're purchasing is a PNG image. Otherwise the background may not be transparent. So if I look at this image in, if I just open it and look at it in some kind of Windows software, the background looks white. It's not till I actually kind of use it that it becomes it's obvious that it's transparent, and that's just the way it's showing. So and you can see how this kind of goes off the page, that you can't, whatever you can see is what you can see. So even though that is a bigger image, and you can see when you save it, that's not going to be visible either. So whatever you can see is what you're going to save. Okay, sorry. So what I'm going to show you is, let's start with images. Okay, so this is just a stock image I've got and I've uploaded. So I'm just going to click on that to highlight that. On this side over here, this is all kind of the options that you have. So it's templates, photos, elements, which are shapes and things like that, lines, text, video, backgrounds, uploads, folders, and more. Okay, so uploads is everything that I've uploaded. So anything that I've uploaded is in here. So as I scroll down here, you can see here, these are the PNG examples of this different colors of this purple that's on here now. So they're just different colors I've uploaded, and paint jobs and dots and images and what have you. So the easiest way to replace an image, so if you wanted this image to be a different image, the easiest way to replace it is actually click it like I've done here, and then select the image that you want. Try and keep the ratio the same. So if it's rectangular, you know, with the width being wider, try and keep that proportion. So I'm going to choose this woman here. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to hold my left mouse click down. I'm not going to release it. So I'm just going to drag it on. And at some point, you can see now I still haven't let it go. You can see it just clicks into that, but if I stop here, you can see it's going to go into the background. So you kind of got to hover around until it kind of snaps into where you want it to be. And once it does, you just let go. And there you go. So this isn't this photo over the top of the other photo. This photo has replaced what was originally there. Now if you want to undo it, we're just up to our undo here, and there we go, it's undone. So that's the easiest way to do it. If you just click a photo, it will just put it smack bang in the middle, and then you can put it wherever you want to be, so you can kind of, you know, resize it and what have you. But considering these templates are already made, what you actually probably want to do is replace this photo, not necessarily put another one in. So the easiest way is, like I say, to click it so it's selected. Excuse me, so it's selected, and let's do this one, and then yeah, it will just snap in. You can see my mouse there, it's got like an arrow and the little square, so that's kind of showing you where that's going to stay. So that's actually a better image. I like that one better, but anyway, I will undo. Okay, all right, the background is kind of the same. Once you click this background, this little up here, that's the background color. So if you click on that, it will give you color options. Now, what you actually are going to need to know is what your colors are. That's the I don't really like this particular one. You can come in here and you can just kind of, you know, click anywhere, and you can see that's not a bad color actually. It's kind of changed the color, and it's going to give you this code here. So if you have a color that you need to use that's like part of your branding or what have you, you actually are going to need that color code. So it's not RGB or CMYK, it's the hex code. So you need the hex code. It is excuse me, there is actually, I use this little app here, which is this eyedropper from the Chrome extension store. So if you look for that, or there's probably quite a few, and that will actually select any color on this web page. So if I was to open up a new tab here, I've got a picture here somewhere. That one will do actually. And I click on this, and then I can pick a color from a web page, and I can come down here, and you can see how the little box changes, and I can click on that, and then when I click again, and that's the last one there, and you can see it gives me the code here. Okay, so there's a few options that can do that, but this is literally it's a Chrome extension. It's free. It's called Eyedropper Color Picker, obviously, and you just get it through the Chrome extensions. If you use Apple, sorry, can't help you. I'm not an Apple user. I really don't know how they do that, but I'm sure there's probably, this can't be the only one. There must be heaps of them. So I can use that color, and then I just kind of click anywhere, and I'm gonna come back to my. Is this the one? Yeah, come back to this one. Okay, and then I can paste that in there. Oh, I didn't copy it. I'm a goose. I'm a goose. I'm a goose. I'm a goose. I highlighted it and didn't copy it. Copy. Okay, and then once you've pasted that in there, you can see because it's pink, it's detected all these other colors. So you could kind of, you know, pick anything else in there, but we're gonna say we want that one. So, oh, that's a bit bright, isn't it? Anyway, so that's how you change those colors. I'm just going to go back and back to take it back to the original. But unfortunately, without pasting a code in here, these are the only options you get. So even if you kind of pick on one of these, it changes it, but it doesn't give you different options. So yeah, unfortunately, you need to know the color codes of the colors that you want to use. And once you, like I say, once you post them in there, it'll give you lots of options. But and once you've used them, it will save them into this little kind of, I guess recent colors kind of up here. Now, the only challenge with this is that this doesn't carry across different files. So you can go through and make all this file how you want it to be. And then when you open your Instagram stories file, these colors won't be there because it's a different file. So I think that's a bit of that really bothers me, to tell you the truth. I think your recent colors should kind of cross anything because the chances that you're going to be using them over and over are fairly strong, but it doesn't do that. So what I would do is get a little notepad or something, or Word document or something, and actually copy and paste your color hex codes in there so that you have them to use and you can just type them out really easily. Okay, so that's how we change the, and this is actually a shape, this one. So this is in the elements, this is a shape. So that's just a basic kind of shape that we've used. These are all different shapes down here. And you can see as you get further down and you start to, okay, see the things with the little crown? They're either premium or they are payable. So you can use them, but you have to pay. So that's kind of like, that makes it really easy to spot. I actually like that. See, that's payable, that's so you can, actually when you hover on it, it tells you. So if it's got the crown, you can pay for it, or it's free with Canva Pro, and the little dollars, it means you can just purchase it. Okay. So these are your grids, these are your shapes, these are your frames, this is all this kind of stuff in here. Okay, all right, so there we go. We've changed that color, we've changed it back. So I'm just going to get that out of the way again. Okay, so your text is, what I've done with the text is they have these really cool groupings of text. So I've used this particular group here, this wild sale up to 50% off. So I'm just going to show you how that works. So you literally, like everything else, you just use your left mouse, drag it on. Okay, so when it comes on, it comes as a group. So these are 3 different fonts you can see, but they're grouped together. So we have to come up here and ungroup them. And you can see how they change into different shapes now. Now the biggest trick is once something is highlighted, it can be a bit challenging to move it. So just click anywhere out, just click anywhere in this grey area. And then when we come back, we can click and move this one and click and move this one and do whatever you want. Okay, so that's the text. Sorry, this is the text that I've used. So this is that's playlist. That is, you can see it up here. This is Hussar something. And where's the other one? This one is Hussar Bold. So these are the same text, they're just slightly different. This is the size, the color. That's whether you want it uppercase or lowercase. So see, that's up to 50%. So if I change that, that will change. You can see that's really easy. So when you type in here and it's uppercase and you can't figure out why, you just need to turn that off. Okay, so if you want to drop that to lowercase, pretty easy. Excuse me. Okay, I'm just going to delete these extra ones that we don't need. And to delete anything, literally just click on it and delete it. And the delete button. Okay, now to edit these texts, now I've used this one. I've made this the color. You can see that's the color there. So if I want to change that, I can. Now I don't know if a lot of you know, because a lot of people know double click, but a lot of people don't know triple click. If you double click, see it's one word. Sorry, if you triple click, it highlights the whole thing. And that happens in anything. So if it's a URL up here or a paragraph, triple click will highlight the entire thing. But it's a shortcut that a lot of people just don't know. So I don't know how I ever used it. I think it was a programming thing, but anyway. Alright, so that will highlight it, and then I can actually come back, and I'm actually just going to type the same thing in here, but just to show you what you can do. Now, once you've got this highlighted, you can see you've got these little bars here. Now, what they will do is actually just change the size of the area that you can type in. Okay, see, they're not changing the font size, it's just typing the area you type in. Now, I am very... like I say, I come from an Adobe background, so I'm very conscious about making sure everything's actually, scaled to the size it should be. So if it is, like this, it doesn't matter. It's not going to make any difference. But when I scale everything in this video, it's just in the very, very early versions of some kind of Adobe platforms, the room that you took for like text, for example, was actually like a size. So it actually correlated back to when you saved your file, correlated back to the gigabyte size of your file. This was many, many moons ago. So it's just a habit that I have, that I physically can't leave anything like kind of like out of bounds. I have to make sure it's a perfect fit. However, in doing this, it also makes it easier for alignment purposes. So I want this to be in the middle of the page. So I'm just going to drag it. And when you get, okay, see how that's a dotted line? Okay, and that's a solid line. The solid line is for the page. The dotted line is for other elements on the page. So if you want to align it in the middle, wait till it's a solid line and just let it go. Now, once you've actually got this done and you're happy with that and you want to make it bigger, that's what these are for. So you're going to drag that and you can see that's bigger, and you can see the size up here, 52.2. I should have taken a note of what size I did that, didn't I? But I'm just going to undo it twice. Okay, so 38.4. All right, I'm going to change it to 40. That seems weird to have 38.4. And you can see now I've made it bigger, that it's because of the bounding box. Sorry, you just click on it. So I just need to make that bounding box a bit bigger so that it still fits it. So that's all you can, it's as easy as that. So this, what was that, 72. So I want to make that bigger, I can just scale it. Alternatively, once it's selected, I can actually just come up here and type 78, for example. And again, because the bounding box isn't big enough, it's going to split onto two lines. So I would just literally need to make that bigger. So I'm undo, oh, sorry, redo. And sorry, just click anywhere out here. Where is she? There we go, in the middle. I'm just gonna, you can also use your arrow keys on your keyboard, which I find sometimes a little easier. And this okay, so this text, as you can see, it's on a bit of an angle. So exactly the same principles apply, but you can see this little rotation box down there. That's what that does. Okay, and that is on all text options. So if I just add, sorry. If I just add, by clicking here, a little bit of body text, it's going to add that in there. You can see I can straight away turn that. It's available on all, oops, I did delete it. It's available on all text. Any text, you can see it's got the little bounding box. Now that does actually move depending on where your text is. So if okay, it's going to be on the side. So it's not always going to be on the bottom. It's going to be underneath the text effectively. Okay. These are just your basic text, so you can click to add a header and it'll just add it to the page. Sorry, I'm just pressing delete to get rid of these, and a subheading and a little bit of body text, and then your font combinations. So just remember, this is the one that's the wild style, that's the fonts that I've used. You can change them to anything you like. So you can, let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to triple click. Okay, I'm going to come over here to our fonts. Now again, anything with the crown is actually a pro option, so you can't use that without upgrading. So anything that doesn't have the crown next to it is usable. So you can just scroll through, find something you like. Let's go this one. And, oh, I don't mind that actually, and you can see it just changes. Okay, so I'm just going to undo again. And that's as easy as it is. And with color, the same. Just going to highlight it and just going to come up here and just going to choose a color. So it's easy, 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 easy. Okay, now to rearrange where something sits on this page, so let's just do it with this image, so because this will be really obvious. Once it's highlighted, we're just going to right click, and these are the options that we have. Now if it's at the back, it's not going to allow you to send it further back, so that's why they're grayed out, but we can bring it forward, which is now, see how it's over the top of this image now, but it's not at the very front. Let's undo that. Or we could actually bring to front, which is going to put it over the top of everything. Now you could bring it to the front and then go, okay, I need to move it back one, and it's going to come back underneath. Okay, so that's pretty easy. So if this one decided you didn't kind of really want to see that anymore, you could send it to the back. Now because this is the background, this is actually the background, it's still going to be visible because that's the background. So if you wanted to move it underneath, if you wanted to keep it, for example, but you don't want it you don't want it visible, so you just say, I'm like, oh, I really don't like that, I want to get that off, it's not an element I like. What you would do would be to come over here to your elements and you click a rectangle, and we would sorry, I also forgot to say, when you use these arrows, it scales proportionately. So you can see how it scales proportionately, and when you lose these, it scales to, you know, whatever you're dragging. Unproportionately, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to change this color. I think that was the background color. Okay, and then I'm going to send to back. Ah, damn it, sorry. Undo this. No, that's right, sorry. And now I'm going to send this one to the back, and you can see how it's gone. So that's a really good way of, if there's elements on these that you don't like, but you're like, maybe later I might use them, and you just don't want to make them visible, that's how to do it. So all I've done is just add a rectangle over you can see if I move this, you can see the background's still there. So this is the background, that's always going to be there, you can't take that away. But this, I have to get on here now, this is the rectangle. I'm just going to snap that back in. And that's enabled the element to be hidden. Now if I delete that, you can see that comes back again. So if I bring that to the front, but I actually don't want that to be behind the text, so I'm just going to send it backwards, send backwards, send. Yeah, so you can just keep, or if you want, you can actually just keep bringing your fonts forward, so to kind of move that underneath. Okay, so I think that's kind of it. It's pretty easy. Anything that you wanted to do, like I say, these are all actually, so let me explain that. Sorry, let me go back up here. So you can see I click on that and there's no color option. It's because that's an image. So that's an image that I've put in there. So it's not something I created in Canva, so I can't do anything about that. Again, you can see I can't change that color because that's an actual image. Same with the dots here. It's an image. I can't change it. Whereas if I click on these rectangles, you can see immediately the colors come up because I actually created those in Canva. This is actually a background. You can see that's a stripe, which is here. So these are kind of backgrounds. So I've made that background so that you can change because I made that in Canva. So that's kind of easy to change if you want to change. But any of these kind of little things that are, that's a shape, so I can change that color. That's a border, so I can change that color. So yeah, so it's only the things, the images that I've actually imported, which are these kind of things, because can you imagine trying to make that out of shapes? Oh goodness, that would be a nightmare. So I've made these in Photoshop and just kind of brought them in. But again, if you don't want to use them or you don't like them, you know, feel free to just delete them off your page because you've already, if you've done it and already saved your template, they will still be in your template, so they will still be available to you, as long as you've made this as a copy. But yeah, if you want to just kind of hide it for this week, for example, just make a new rectangle and just send that to the back so that your rectangle is overlaying your background. Okay, so once we've done that and you want to save it, what you want to do is, if you want to copy the page at all, you come up here. If you want to, you can add notes. So if you've got like a couple of people using the same Canva account, you could add notes. You know, like, I've done this. This is all ready to go for next November, or for November's, kind of whatever. Once you've actually done this, and you're going to come up here and you pull this down, you can actually download it. You can publish it straight to your Facebook page. You can share the link, group, Twitter, Slack, whatever. If you go more, Tumblr, Pinterest, you've got all these kind of options in here. Now, if we download it, it's going to come out as a PNG, which that's that file I talked to you about this. That would be my suggestion. It's a good file size. It scales really well to web, phone, everything. So, and it maintains its clarity. And here we have this all pages. So you want to drop that down, and then you can actually, if you want to download them as individual files, like if you use a scheduling software or something like that, you just click which page you want. So I'm just going to go page 1 because I've edited that, and done, and then download. That's it. It's that simple. This transparent background, you can see that's a Canva Pro. So that would be like, if all this other stuff on the page, if I got rid of all that, because this PNG file has got a transparent background. Sorry, let's go back there. And I clicked that, you can see it's going to say I have to upgrade to Canva Pro for that. So it just kind of gives you that. Now it doesn't tell you, this is so sneaky. I think it doesn't tell you what the pricing is of Canva Pro. You could just, yeah, try it free for 30 days, but just make sure you Google what price it is. I think it's $19.95 a month, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, if I come over here and I go to download that, if I had Canva Pro, I could check that transparent background, and if this was the only file I had, it would mean it would download and that would be transparent. So you might make something in here out of shapes that you want to save and as an overlay, like this is. See, this is an overlay, so you might want to make something out of all the shapes that's available to you and then save it as a PNG file and then come back and use it as an overlay, like, so like this kind of thing. So to do that, you would have to upgrade, but that's the situation where you would use the upgrade and use the transparent background. So again, just pick the page that you want and done, and then download, and it's all good. It'll save it. So then you've got it for sharing to your social media. So I hope that's helped. It's, like I say, it's pretty easy. It's, it's actually very easy to get quite creative and what have you in Canva. So yeah, so edit away. So it's pretty easy. You can actually add page titles up here too. So if you wanted to do this on the weekly, you could go Monday, Facebook, for example, you could actually title them so that people know, like if you, say, if you've got multiple people doing it, Anyway, all right, edit away, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.